Hi, Karen. How are you today?
Good, thank you.
Good. So, I just want to say first, thank you for scheduling time with me today to talk about smoking cessation.
Sure.
So, we'll go through a series of questions today. I'll take a few notes on the iPad, and I'm doing that for me and you both to have a better understanding of your current smoking status.
Okay.
So, when did you start smoking, or how long have you been smoking?
For about 20 years.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever tried to stop smoking?
Actually, yes, I actually had an acupuncture technique performed, but the desire came back.
Okay, that's amazing. The fact that you've had one attempt to try to stop smoking shows willingness for you wanting to quit. In your previous attempt, what was the reason for you doing that?
My mother was diagnosed with COPD and emphysema.
I'm so sorry to hear that, but that's a great reason for your attempt to stop smoking. And by any chance, did your mother's physician explain to you the associated risk factors with your mother continuing to smoke?
No, but I'm sure by her continuing to smoke, it helped with the progression of her disease.
Okay. If you don't mind me asking, who are the individuals in your life that would like to see you successfully stop smoking?
I would say my daughter, father, and my siblings.
Okay. So I just want to have a small recap here, make sure I understand you correctly. You've been smoking for about 20 years with one attempt with the acupuncture technique with no long-term success. From observing your mother's health conditions, you've noticed the adverse effects that smoking causes, but no one has really sat down with you and explained to you the dangers to you personally about smoking.
Mm-hmm.
Does that sound about right?
That's correct.
Alrighty. So I know you mentioned earlier that the desire came back to smoke. Can you tell me a little bit more about that desire and any additional factors that contribute to that desire?
Yeah, I felt like I could smell smoke all throughout the day. I would actually go outside and be around individuals that smoke so I could inhale the smoke. And I felt as though it helped relieve some of my stress.
Okay. Alrighty. So trying to quit smoking is a hard habit to break. The things you listed, please don't feel ashamed about. Almost all patients that I've had this difficult conversation with have tried to have encountered some of those same reasons that you listed here today. But I said to say that we've had success in our office with working with the patients that have listed those difficulties.
Okay.
So moving forward, what are some things that motivate you or that may help you reconsider wanting to stop smoking?
First and foremost, my mother's condition.
Okay. So I hear a lot of passion in your voice for wanting not to end up with the same health-related conditions that your mother had. And that is a great thing, and you have to give yourself credit for that.
I guess.
I mean, okay, so let me ask you this. In your first attempt, how long did you stop smoking?
For a year and a half.
I mean, Karen, that's a big accomplishment. I mean, you went a year and a half. I mean, almost 2 years. Did you feel accomplished during that time?
Yes, I did, and I actually celebrated on my 1-year anniversary.
Okay. I mean, during that time, that's a pretty large accomplishment. The fact that you initiated this attempt based off of your mother's condition, and then the fact that you also see fit to make changes in your habit for your health purposes speaks volumes of you. So that leads me to my next few questions. What do you feel would have been the worst thing if you would have continued to stop smoking?
I don't think anything bad would have happened. I wish I could have stuck with it.
Okay. All right. I agree with you. You're exactly correct. Nothing bad would have come of that. So let's think about it here for a second. You were able to stop smoking for almost 2 years. The factors that motivate you are dear and near to your heart, and I can still see that passion and the love felt and emotion here today for that drive.
Oh, wow, you're putting a lot on me here today.
Again, it's not to overwhelm you by any means, but I just want to make sure that you understand the intent and what you accomplished within your first initial attempt to try to stop smoking.
I appreciate that. I guess I never really thought about it like that.
That's okay. You're here now. I am so happy that you can now see the accomplishment in your drive behind that initial attempt. Just a few more questions. If you could place a numerical value, 0 being no willingness, wanting to quit, and 10 being very important to quit smoking, what would you rate yourself right now?
An 8.
Okay, an 8. So that's pretty important if you ask me. So why do you give me a 2 or a 3?
I'm just sitting here and reflecting on our conversation. I'm realizing in my strength in my first attempt, and I actually really feel like I can stop this time.
Okay. You're putting out some great factors, and that's great. So this gives us a great foundation to move towards your goal to stop smoking. Would you agree? Would you agree with
I
that?
would agree.
Okay, so if it's okay with you, I would like to schedule another interview with you to discuss further barriers that patients have when they face obstacles trying to stop smoking. Is
Okay,
that okay?
that's okay. Yes.
Okay. So here's what I'm thinking. The plan that we can start with. I would like to provide you with a tobacco log, and that will help you and me identify specific triggers throughout your day to day. I would like to schedule with a tobacco specialist in our office, and that individual will take that information as well, and we will collaborate on creating a plan that's specific for you. I also think that it will be worth trying nicotine replacement therapy and possibly some counseling to help you with those stressful days and triggers that you have to help reduce stress when those urges come around. Does that sound like a plan?
Yes.
Okay, great. So we will get you scheduled for your next appointment at the front desk. And again, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.
You're welcome.